Hi everybody, Dr. Ahles here. In this short video, we're going to talk about the process of lactation and discuss the hormones and the other kinds of stimuli that can lead this process to occur. When we talk about lactation, what we're actually describing is the process that the mammary glands in females use to generate milk. So this breast milk is made in a part of the breast known as the glandular alveoli. The glandular alveoli, as you can see here, is clustered together in these little lobules. Each of those lobules are going to drain into a structure called the lactiferous duct. The lactiferous duct has smooth muscle inside of it. When it's stimulated, it will push the breast milk from the lactiferous duct into these storage sinuses. Those sinuses also have smooth muscle. When they're stimulated, they'll push the milk out to the surface of the nipple, and the process of lactation occurs. There are many different hormones that are used, some that develop during pregnancy, some that come after pregnancy, that will encourage the mammary glands to grow or to create milk. Two hormones that are very involved during the process of pregnancy are progesterone and estrogen. So in addition to their effects helping a developing fetus or embryo to grow, they're also involved in growing the glandular epithelium that generates the milk, as well as helping to develop that duct system of the sinuses and the ducts that will drain that milk. We also see a hormone called prolactin. This is something that initially helps with defining the glandular alveoli, but ultimately it's something that will be used during the breastfeeding portion after a baby's birth to continue milk synthesis. One other interesting hormone that's actually made by the placenta as it develops is called human placental lactogen. And just like some of these other hormones that we've seen, this is another one that's going to increase growth in the size of the breast, the nipple, and the areola, which is the darker region around the nipple. Primarily what we use to release milk from the mammary glands is the hormone oxytocin. So something to keep in mind as you're studying these hormones, oxytocin does not help with synthesizing milk, but it does help with the process of releasing milk. So oxytocin is a hormone that triggers the contraction of the smooth muscle that we find inside the mammary alveoli, as well as the lactiferous ducts and sinuses. When that muscle contracts, we generate what's called the letdown reflex, and the letdown reflex will push milk out of the breast and enable the process of breastfeeding. When we talk about doing the process of breastfeeding, this process, the body starts to prepare for it at the time of birth. So when a baby is born, the mother experiences a huge release of prolactin. That prolactin is going to kickstart the process of generating milk. But prolactin is a hormone, and like all other hormones, it takes about 2 to 3 days to actually kick into gear. So before a mother, her milk comes in, as they say, before breast milk is synthesized, a solution called colostrum is made instead. Colostrum, as we can see from our picture up here, is a darker yellow color. Colostrum is going to be a lot more immunogenic, meaning it has things like antibodies or white blood cells, compared to more mature milk or typical breast milk that's going to have a lot more water, sugar, and proteins. Once a mother starts nursing, she's going to generate her own prolactin, but the level of prolactin that she makes is going to rely on the suckling reflex. So when a woman is planning to breastfeed a baby, that baby will latch on and stimulate the mechanoreceptors, meaning the receptors that detect movements. Those receptors will activate two different streams of neurons in the hypothalamus. The first set of neurons that the suckling reflex will activate are the prolactin releasing hormone neurons in the hypothalamus. Just like their names suggest, these neurons are going to help with an increase in prolactin levels. Again, this is a hormone, so a delayed reaction of prolactin continuing the process of milk production in a nursing mother. But the other thing that occurs with that suckling reflex is neurons in the hypothalamus are also activated that release the hormone oxytocin. Oxytocin, remember, is the hormone that we use to stimulate the letdown reflex. So oxytocin involved more immediately in the process of nursing. But as the process of nursing begins, as that letdown reflex occurs, notice that we use a positive feedback loop to continue this process of telling the body to produce milk and to release that milk through the letdown reflex. When we're considering breast milk, this is a combination of all of the different kinds of nutrients that a baby might require. So there are many different kinds of lipids, proteins, minerals, carbohydrates that are found inside breast milk. Interestingly, some of the components of breast milk, so for example, oligosaccharides, which are a type of complex carbohydrate, actually can't be digested by a baby's intestinal system. They're ingested by the bacteria that are found or are developing inside a baby's gut. So breast milk not only nourishes an infant, but it also nourishes their gut bacteria. We also see that there are several components of breast milk that are very important to establishing an immune defense for an infant. So some of the things that are inside breast milk will help to train the immune system or tell it to not get too inflamed. This is going to be things like our inhibitory interleukins or prostaglandin signaling molecules. But we also see some immune elements that are specifically active at the time of entry into the baby's body. So this is things like IgA antibodies or complement proteins, lysozyme, which can kill bad bacteria, interferons. Both of these things taken together show us that breast milk can play an important role in developing a baby's immune system. Another benefit of breast milk is that it acts as a natural laxative. When a baby is first born, they have a tarry solution inside their gut called meconium. This meconium is left over from the bile that was synthesized by the baby while it was in utero. So introducing breast milk or introducing the colostrum into the digestive tract helps to get this meconium moving and getting it out of the way. Now, as much as we've talked a lot about breast milk, I do want to mention that the idea of feeding a baby breast milk, while awesome, it's more important to make sure that your baby is fully fed. So some women are not able to create breast milk or not able to create it at the level that their infant needs. As our statement says over here, fed is best. Many of the different kinds of formula that are on the market now include a lot of these similar things in them, the things that would nourish the gut bacteria that provide a baby exactly what they need. So at the end of the day, breast milk, awesome. Formula, awesome. A fed, growing baby, that's the best of it all.